Okay, so I ended up actually not taking a trade today, and I'll be honest, the only reason I didn't end up taking the trade was because TopstepX was down again. Really ridiculous that I have to deal with one of the most popular trading prop firms in the industry being down like once a week at this rate. It's literally down once a week. I checked. I looked at the downtime in recent weeks, and it's literally been once a week. That's not an exaggeration. Like they need to get their shit together. It's insane. For them to have taken away TradeAvate and all other alternatives and make you use TopstepX and for it not to work is just fucking ridiculous. It makes no sense to me. And yeah, but at the end of the day, today it did save me from a loss, um, perhaps two losses. Um, Now, what I want to point out first is you can just see the conditions we're in. We're clearly in seek and destroy conditions, choppy conditions. I'm seeing that now. Um, like for the rest of the day, I would not take a trade. Um, but right, you could see like, okay, we inverse this 15-minute. Cool. You'd think we inverse, we swept. Okay, cool. We're gonna go higher now. Oh, next candle's a fucking big black dildo down to the lows again. The same thing happened on the higher time frame with the 4 hour. We have this inversion of the 4 hour fair value gap. You think, okay, we're gonna go higher off this. Oh, big black dildo down. Seek and destroy conditions. Um, this will happen and to make sense of the two trades that I took, they were both shorts. Looking at this, you could see I was waiting for us to, if we were going to inverse that 4 hour on the NASDAQ, I wanted to see us obviously tap into the 4 hour above us if we were going to go lower. But what happened was ES used this 4 hour. So we tapped into ES's 4 hour, not NQ's. That's fine. So I used that as like a little bit of an SMT. And then um, you can see obviously we created this bullish 4 hour fair value gap after we inversed this bearish 4 hour. But I don't think much of it, to be honest with you. And this is not, if we hold this and go higher, I'd be incredibly surprised. This should not act as too much resistance. So I wasn't too concerned with that. Just because like the overall trend is clearly bearish, it's clearly bearish. I don't see this 4 hour acting as a reversal point. Now on the hourly, you can see it doesn't really give us too much to look at. There's obviously this unfilled hourly below that I think is a nice target now if you were looking for shorts. I didn't target that with my shorts. My target was just the low here. You could argue it's a protected low, but I didn't really care too much for the sweep here because realistically, again, our overall bias is bearish, rightfully so. We had swept the highs as well and had a nice reaction off the highs. I didn't think that unless we were going to go back into the range, which we ended up doing, I didn't think this would be too much of an issue. Now, one thing you'll notice is that there's a 15-minute fair value gap here. This first trade I took, my stop loss, unbeknownst to me, I should have been better at checking, was at a 15-minute unfilled fair value gap. Not good. I really try to avoid that. It's bit me in the ass too many times. It would have bit me in the ass again today. Most likely would not have checked, just entered off TopstepX, similar to how I entered with a paper trade on TradingView. And so that would have stopped me out. So this one was avoidable. The first one was avoidable because I could have just noticed that before entering. You'll see like I entered literally at, no, I had time. I had time to check. So that should have been checked. And then, cool, we get stopped out there. But at the end of the day, we come back into this 15-minute then. Or like we trade into the 15-minute and we were respecting it really nicely at first. And we had another inversion with a sweep here, another inversion of the 3-minute. I mean, that has to be taken. So I would take the second trade 10 out of 10 times. The first trade was avoidable. So I was able to avoid both losses today because TopStep was down. So it ended up being a blessing in disguise. But at the end of the day, I would prefer the fucking platform to be working 100% of the time. I shouldn't have to deal with that once a week. I would have rather lose this trade. I'm not kidding. And known that I was on a fucking platform that worked 100% of the time than to be sitting here in the dark once a week and not be able to fucking trade. Like that kills my date, my all the data I compile through backtesting. It doesn't fucking account for that dumb bullshit once a week. Should I just take a trading day off each week when I backtest? Skip Tuesdays or something to make it seem more fucking realistic? I mean, TopstepX is a joke, and I'm leaving the platform as soon as when this funding gets blown, or I take a nice payout and fucking leave. I'm gone. I'm gone. I do not want to use TopStep anymore. It's a fucking joke. I can't believe they got rid of TraderBait to begin with, and then whatever. Rant over. Yeah, that was the two trades, both off of 3-minute inversions. First one looked like it was playing out really nicely at first. But then we got stopped out with the 15-minute fair value gap being unfilled above where our stop loss was. This second one, in my opinion, was a really nice trade and better than the first one. Still got stopped out, is what it is. Um, Again, seek and destroy conditions, in my opinion, were just ranging. It's kind of ugly. For us to be inversing, candles as nicely as we are, and then just disrespecting that inverse is not ideal. But yeah, this looks very choppy and very ugly. So I'm happy that I was able to avoid the losses, but unhappy that my platform doesn't work once a week that I trade on. That's really not that good. So those were the trades that I would have taken had I been able to. Did take paper trading. Again, first one would have been a regrettable loss because that could have been avoided. There's a reason why that failed. The second one, I would take 10 out of 10 times. I liked it. Yes, are we in seek and destroy conditions? Conditions, sure, you can argue that. I would say this 15-minute getting inverse solidified that for me. So before this happened, before we inversed this candle and then instantly dropped back down, I wasn't really completely convinced we were in seek and destroy conditions. I thought we could easily continue lower here. I didn't see valid reasons why we wouldn't. I know we have this 4-hour here, but that should not be holding shit. So, yeah, that's that.